Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us today. We are honored to have you all today as we launch the first villa community in the Valley Phase 2. So I won't take much of your time. Please join me in welcoming on stage our head of sales, Mr. Santosh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apology for the delay. We heard there was an accident in Business Bay, so we thought we should give more time for people to reach the venue. How are you? How's the summer? Hot? The property market is hot. So I think the summer is good. I think probably 4 years back, if you tell, you know what, we're launching every week in summer, when 50% of the residents are traveling outside of UAE, people would be, you you shouldn't launch because the clients are not in town, they're not responding. But the funny fact is, 85% of the buyers this year with Emaar are first-time buyers. 85%. We sold 8,500 units till 30th of June, out of which 85% of them have invested for the first time, out of which 60% of them are non-residents. This is a fact which is astonishing, which is something which every one of you should take care, because summer is here, but the buyer is actually right there. For the buyer outside of UAE, he is waiting to come to UAE. We'll talk more about what's happening because of different reasons across the world, how people are moving to Dubai. We have a detailed slide on that. But then we cannot treat summer like usual. Summer here is actually business, because a lot of people are looking at investing in Dubai because of whatever reasons, geopolitical reasons, taxation issues, etc., etc. How many of you have seen the recent change in the government in the United Kingdom? Everybody's aware? You know what's going to happen, right? Every one of you should start campaigns there. That is one market where if you move first, you will actually capture a lot of business, because you will see a lot of millionaires moving from UK to Dubai. We've also opened up road shows. We've been inviting a lot of agents to come and take us to UK. We'll support you in the road shows. And these things, you need to be aware what's happening around the world, because Dubai being a global city, we are seeing a lot of investment coming into Dubai, not only from UK, from far west, from far east, from Australia. So I think today we are truly living up to the term a global city. Now, the Emaar promise. We spoke about Dubai, how Dubai has been, enticing people to move here with the great infrastructure, with the great safety, security. But one thing, what we are very proud of, and I am very proud of, being almost 6.5 years in this company, is Emaar's 28-year promise. It's super strong. For the last 28 years, Emaar has never gone back on the customers. Every project we launch in any community, we only go higher and higher in price. What it does, it ensures that our customers are gaining every time we launch. Every time we launch a product in one of the master plans, the customers who bought previously with us have already gained the appreciation. And this is our promise. Our promise is to ensure that you will not lose your money, and our promise is to ensure that you get the best communities ever, because when we maintain our communities like the way we do, that is how the real appreciation happens. And ladies and gentlemen, let me proudly present to you what Emaar has done in the last 28 years. It was an absolute honor for me to actually stand here on this dais explaining you what we are offering. But every time I look at this video, I literally feel so proud of what Emaar has done and me being a part of it. Every employee who's a part of Emaar, actually we feel very proud. And that is where this kind of communities when we make, this is what you need to take to your customers, because not everybody makes what they show. Whatever we show in our brochures, in our renders, it's exactly how we deliver. Look at the Dubai Hills Park. Probably whatever we delivered is better than what we showed in the renders. Now, one of the communities, the community we're talking about today, launched in 2019. I think 2019 was a time when people thought that possibly the valley is the true suburb master plan. But today, the development we've seen on the Al Ain Road, the kind of infrastructure, what happened in the last 5 years, today it is very well inside the city. So let me take you back 5 years behind, and when the valley, all of the valley started, this was what we started with.
Where do you go to dream? I dream of a place where my mind is free to wander.
I dream of a place for my children, where learning is a fun-filled adventure.
The Valley. Dreams begin here.
Now I want you to register what we've shown here, because a lot of what you've seen actually come to life. I'll show you when we go to the construction progress of the valley. But we need to really talk about the location of valley. Now, when you look at it, it might seem around 36 kilometers from downtown, but the expansion of the Dubai Al Ain Road has completely changed the way people perceive valley as a master plan for end use. You're literally 25 minutes away from downtown. You're 25 minutes away from each of the airports. Obviously, the new airport is going to come up with beautiful expansion. The expansion of the Labab Road, which is giving great connectivity of the Al Ain Road all the way to Sheikh Zayed Road, to the new airport. This has become one of the lifeline roads. And this location, my friends, I think is very much inside the city now. Today, if you want a villa or a townhouse in a very affordable range with the kind of space we are providing, just 25 minutes away from downtown, Valley has become the first choice of all the clients who are working in and around downtown. And there's a lot of people basically who have their businesses, who have their workplaces in Business Bay, in downtown, in Deira, in Garud area. All of them, not only them, even people who are actually traveling to Abu Dhabi from Sharjah, Ajman, everybody is looking at Valley as a destination to stay. And hence, there's a lot of demand of the Valley. And obviously, the expansion of the Dubai Al Ain Road, which happened in May 2022, today, literally from downtown to reach E611, it takes you around 12 minutes, and Valley is further 7 to 8 minutes away, making it one of the most connected master plan in terms of price, in terms of the time to travel. I think this is what you need to explain to your customers. It is literally 25 minutes, and this is not exaggeration. We're not exaggerating the number. Even in peak traffic time, if you leave downtown at 6 o'clock, you will reach Valley in 25 minutes time. Now that is the kind of location we're talking about. And as I told you earlier, when you saw in 2019 when we launched Valley, this is the first time we are showing the construction update of the first handed over phase, Eden. And we've made a community center. We've made beautiful parks already in the Valley. Here it is, guys. This is how the life in Valley has come about. On this massive success, we built the Valley Phase 2. We've launched the first phase of Valley Phase 2 around 2 weeks back. We had a fantastic response to what we launched. But Valley Phase 2 is something which is much grander, much bigger, and much more luxurious than Valley Phase 1. And hence, when I'll take immense pleasure in showing you again the brand video of Valley Phase 2. which has a lot of adventure to it, a lot of forest trails, a lot of water, a lot of ponds, everything what a family needs to have a perfect lifestyle. We did an inaugural launch of the Valley Phase 2 in the month of June. We sold Velora and Venira, and thanks to all of you, we sold 950 townhouses in the span of 7 days, which is truly a testament to the investors' confidence in the Valley. Now, we need to also understand what kind of numbers we're talking about. We're talking about a 3.2 billion dirham townhouse sale happening in the span of 7 days in summer period. Now, that is what brings back to my earlier statement. There is no summer in terms of sales. Today, real estate sales, when we go to the slide of how much, I'll also talk some more details about the entire market, how much have we done in H1 and all, shows that probably this market is going strength to strength, and no way it is actually going to slow down. And that's why I think all of you, this summer, we all have to work harder. And to elevate this master plan further, we're actually launching the first villa community in the Valley Phase 2. Now let's speak about the entire structure of Valley Phase 2. If you look at, there's a slide where I will compare Valley Phase 1 and Phase 2, but we did a lot of design thinking, we put a lot of thought behind designing the valley, and actually it is a melange of 5 different elements. You have a forest element, you have hills, you have meadows, you have ponds, you have river, the valley, and the way the park has designed itself gives you a feel of a V here, because that is the kind of thought we put behind designing the Valley Phase 2. Not only that, you have dunescapes, you have beautiful flower farms, forest parks, adventure play areas, you have nature-themed play. The entire concept has been about the well-being and the well-nurturing of the kids of the customers in this Valley Phase 2, and we have given exceptional detail to every point in the park, which holds around 33 different amenities. I will explain you in detail when we go to the park slide. How many of you know the size of a football field? Any guesses? Yeah? 50 by 100? 40 by 100? So, for example, say 5,000 square meters. The largest football field I know is Camp Nou. It is 7,000 square meters. Now, imagine if 35 football fields are there. That is the size of the Valley Phase 2 park. Guys, 35 football fields of 7,000 square meters. We're talking about a 250,000 square meter big park. Now, this is a slide I really want you to spend some time on. When we spoke about Valley Phase 1, we spoke about Golden Beach, we spoke about Kids Dale. All of it put together is around 90 to 100 square meters. Now, just compare the green areas and the park areas in Valley Phase 2. By the way, the Valley Phase 2 in terms of the overall size is almost the same size as Valley Phase 1, but the park is 2.5 times bigger than Valley Phase 1. It's a 250,000 square meters long and wide park, making this the largest green belt in any community in Dubai. None of the communities in Dubai, including Dubai Hills Estate, they don't have such expansive areas of the park, which almost host around 33 different amenities. I mean, typically, I was just speaking to one of our sales directors. I mean, we talk about, when we speak about giving amenities in a cluster, we talk about 6 or 7 amenities. Here you have 33 different elements, starting from different fitness play areas. You have soccer pitches, paddle courts, basketball courts, flower farms. You talk about what you need to actually enjoy a beautiful outdoor time with your family. Everything is incorporated in the Valley Phase 2. Now, I'm going to take you through a series of renders. we actually put a lot of thought behind each render, and we understand every render generates leads for you. So it's important for us to actually curate good renders for you. We've made a separate file on just the park. So the Valley Phase 2 park is going to have a good file which is going to come in the agency pack. Use that file. We've given different renders so that you can generate leads. We got feedback that because if you give less renders, the cost per lead is going high. So we've taken care to give you different render shots of the park. And possibly if you look at the expansiveness of the park, in one of the areas, the width of the park grows to over 200 meters. Now this is something which is really, if you look in terms of real length, it is huge. We're talking about 4 times the width of a football field, the width of the park. All these things, when you explain to your customers, this is the kind of life they're going to get when it is getting handed over. I think Valley Phase 2 is truly going to be a phenomenal master plan when all of this comes to life. And the good thing about Emaar is whatever we show, every single stone, every single tree, what you see over here is actually going to be delivered in reality when you get the handovers. All of these, you have different skate parks, you have beautiful parks all across the Valley Phase 2. And one of the beautiful elements we incorporated this time is the infinity pool facing the park. So you're going to have a fitness center and an infinity pool facing the park, but both of the clusters, which we are calling Aveena and Aveena 2. So the first time we have launched a villa cluster in Valley Phase 2. Now let me take into you the world of Aveena. Every single element what's in Aveena has been inspired by nature. Let it be the kind of trees we are using, let it be the kind of landscapes. It is a true inspiration of the nature, and there's going to be a lot of greenery in Valley Phase 2 when it actually comes to life. Now this is the location of Aveena and Aveena 2. We launched Velora and Venera before. This is the units on the right side. This is Aveena 1 and this is Aveena 2. Both of them have beautiful views of the park. Over here, this is the central park. You have different pocket parks. Also, Aveena 2 is very close to the park which is behind Alana. There's a lot of elements around these clusters. In terms of living, possibly, I don't think any cluster or any project in Dubai hosts as many amenities as Valley Phase 2 does over here. Taking you deeper into the cluster map, we have 330 units in each of Aveena 1 and Aveena 2. This is a beautifully curated, if you look at all these pocket parks, and also the distance in between the villas. None of the units in Aveena and Aveena 2, for that matter of fact, none of the units which Emaar is actually making these days are back-to-back. You have at least minimum 2 to 3 to 4 meters sikka in between each of those villas, almost making it single row. So every villa you buy is literally a single row. This is the Aveena 2 cluster map. We will actually share the HD file with you after the session. Now look at the number of pocket parks in Aveena 1. This is the main park, but apart from that, there are a lot of parks inside the development. The same has been congruent in Aveena 2. You have multiple number of pocket parks inside the community. Just giving you another view of another site of the infinity pool. For the first time, we also have a stylish multi-purpose room where customers can actually book the room for any kind of events they want. This is the first time we're implementing this in a villa community. Let me take you into the interiors. I think this is one of my favorite renders. This render will actually generate you a lot of leads because what space you see over here on the side of the villa, this is very important because in majority of the villas where you're hosting a 4,000 plot or a 3,800 plot, you don't get space on the side. When you don't get space on the side, you literally use it possibly to park the bicycles, or nobody is actually using it for practical purposes. So what we have done, We've killed the space of one side. We've added that space on this side so that you can get a good 5.5 to 7 meters, depending on the plot, of area over here where you can host a proper pool. This has become the main area, the main family area, which is on the side of the villa. And obviously, the backyard is also big enough, which adds on to the plot. The living areas are rectangularish. These are 550 square foot big living and dining area. There is no space wastage in any of the living areas. Kitchens come fully fitted. This is exactly how the kitchen is going to be delivered. All the appliances are inbuilt. We've also put beautiful stone, which is on there, what you see. This is the first time we are actually showing the fully fitted kitchen render. And in my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful elements of this villa community. This is a dining render where you can actually host a full 8-seater dining table, and the bedroom render facing onto the park. You have beautiful views of the park from the bedroom. Now, floor plans. This is something which I wanted to spend time on and explain in detail what we have done. This is a 3,700 square foot built-up villa. This is a ground floor. Over here, when you enter into a 70 square foot double-heighted entry foyer. A lot of customers from countries like probably China and India, they really love double-heightedness. When you enter into a villa, if you have a double-heighted foyer, it really adds to the luxury of the villa. You have a 550 square foot seamless rectangularish living and dining area. There is no space wastage. The guest bedroom has an ensuite washroom. You have a separate powder room. You have a separate store area over here and a laundry area. And this is your maid's room. And the most beautiful part about the ground floor is that the kitchen has an access towards the backyard. A lot of times people complain that the kitchens are not lit. But here, there will be ample sunlight in the kitchen. We made the kitchen semi-closed. If somebody wants to completely close it, they can do it handover, making it one of the most seamless ground floor designs we've ever designed. Also over here, this is in the smallest plot you have the 5.5 meter setback on this side, where you can host a beautiful 2 or a 3 meter wide pool and almost a 7 to 10 meter long pool on this side. In some of the plots, this grows to almost 8 to 9 meters. So again, we have different plot offerings. This is one of the most seamless ground floor design we've ever designed. Going to the first floor, all of the bedrooms are ensuite. This is the bedroom 3 and bedroom 4. They have their own washrooms. The master bedroom has a beautiful walk-in wardrobe, and it has a his and her wash basins. And typically, we only give either the shower area or the tub area in the master bathroom. We've gotten a feedback that to add to that luxury part, we want both. So basically, we've offered the shower area next to the show tub. So the master bedroom has both shower and the tub. And all the bedrooms on the first floor are ensuite. We also have an additional bedroom on the second floor, which we are calling it as a roof lounge. But typically, if you want to use it as a bedroom, this is a 5-bedroom layout, which we are calling it as a 4-bedroom and roof lounge. But the roof lounge actually hosts a full-fledged washroom opening onto a beautiful 700 square foot big roof terrace. Now, the roof terrace, or the roof garden, we should more aptly call it, adds on to your plot. So, for example, if your plot is 4,000 square foot, this additional 600 square foot of space, what you are getting over here, actually adds on to your space, which you can use as a roof garden. So hence, the access to the second floor really opens up to a lot of space to a villa buyer. Now, what is the opportunity? Well, as we spoke about a lot of millionaires moving into Dubai, if you look at just 2024, this is a report given by New World Wealth. 6,700 millionaires are moving to UAE just in 2024. Now, this is the real number. Now, we are talking about guys with liquid wealth. We're not on asset value. So these many millionaires who have a liquid wealth over $1 million are actually moving to Dubai and UAE in 2024. So imagine the kind of demand and the number of units these guys would want. And this is the real opportunity, and that's why I tell you, I think there is no summer in Dubai this year, because all the 6,700 people who are moving to UAE would like to want to buy something in Dubai. And you should be the first one catering to the 6,700 millionaires moving to UAE. I would call upon stage my dear friend and colleague Khalifa to explain what's happening in and around the Valley area, which has been renamed recently as the Hind City.
Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again today. I would like just to emphasize on this slide a bit thoroughly because as we speak, I don't see many of you guys maybe know what's happening around this area, especially the valley. Because as we speak, I see a lot of people, when we say the valley, they say it's a bit of a far community to the city. You know, 4 or 5 years ago, I would say yes, that was true. Today, as we speak, you know, there is a major Hind city which has been renamed and announced by His Highness Shah Mohammed next to the valley. I think most of you maybe heard about it, maybe not. Hind City is a local community area where the plots has been given to the locals to build their houses in that area. So technically this area is an expansion of, let's say, Nad Shiba or places where we are locals they reside in or stay in, you know. So this is a big news. It's not less news than the expansion he also announced when, you know, people are heading to the south. I was always giving an idea, you know. Yes, the south is the future, Dubai South is the future, but let's not forget that this is part of the downtown now, guys. When we say the valley, I think the statistics also proves this because majority, I would say, speaking as a local maybe, we know the value of this area for the next 5, 10 years down the road. You know, I think just it was a small discussion and a slide which we wanted to emphasize on, which I believe each one of you has to use to when he explains what is the value of such a community also next to Madinat Hind, because everything around it will be road networks, you know, infrastructure. The whole area will be developed, you know. This reminds me of Al Barsha in the past when we used to say, as a locals, you know, Al Barsha used to be far away, you know. And now people are fighting to get a plot in Al Barsha. I think locals will understand what I'm referring to. Next to it is Dubai Hills, so this is only part of the future, but I would like maybe you guys to emphasize on this point because this is part of the city now. It's no longer far away from the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khalifa. I think it's very important what Khalifa said about how people used to perceive probably Al Barsha or Nad Shiba around 4 to 5 years back. In the next 4 to 5 years, probably Valley is actually going to be inside the city. And we see a lot of demand of locals buying in the Valley, people from Al Ain, people from Sharjah. So when you are speaking to these customers, it is very important to emphasize the fact, because when actually the locals get plots to build their own villas, everything around is automatically developed. You get the roads, you get all the infrastructure, and that's why probably in 4 to 5 years' time, Valley will be well within the city, and probably, as he rightly said, would most likely be called the extension of downtown. Now let's see what happened in Dubai market in H1. How many of you know how much has Dubai sold in primary off-plan sales in the first half of this year? Any guesses? Any guesses, guys? Dubai has sold 109 billion dirhams just in the first 6 months of this year. I think all of you really deserve an applause for that. It's a staggering 41% growth over last year, 41%. Register these numbers, guys. Dubai real estate has grown 41% H1 last year to H1 this year. This is something astonishing. I think when somebody talks about a 40% growth, now that's why I tell you Dubai real estate is going strength to strength. And I don't want you guys to basically, think otherwise, because Q3 this year is possibly one of the most instrumental quarter which will define if we continue this kind of growth for the next 6 months or not. Because next 3 months, I think it's mostly inside our heads that typically Dubai real estate in summer slows down, but I don't see any kind of trends for June or even the early part of July showing that. And also, one more thing. Interestingly, if you look at the villa sector, the villa segment in H1 in last year sold 11.4 billion dirhams, and this year the same is 27.4 billion dirhams. It's a 140% growth just in the villa segment. It shows that there is a lot of demand for villas in this market, and truly, and not only that, even the apartment segment has grown. It means that the entire real estate segment is growing, but the villa segment is actually growing 3 times as much as the apartment segment, and hence, launching villas at this time is the right thing to do, because I think in 3 to 4 years' time, possibly there'll be no land to launch villas. Dubai is the only global city where you can actually think about buying a villa. You can buy by thinking about buying a mansion. In cities like possibly Paris or a Milan or a London, you can, even if you go 40, 50 kilometers away from the city, you will not be able to find the villa plots. Talking more into deep, let's understand in the villa segment. So we spoke about what happened in the market. In the villa segment, we've given you categories of different price ranges. In that, if you see the price range in between 4 to 5 million has actually grown by 55%. There is a massive growth of demand in this segment. So this is a sweet spot, guys. This is a sweet spot for the customers. Whoever wants to buy a villa, 4 to 5 million is actually the sweet spot. And we need to understand this. There has been a big decline of villas which have been launched in 2 to 3 million, because I think they're mostly making townhouses. There's also been a big increase in the villas in the range of 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. But this segment over here is truly the sweet spot, where there has been a growth of 55% in the price range of 4 to 5 million ticket size villas. Now, the entire Valley success story has been beautiful with secure investment. Like Eden today has grown 110% of what we've launched around 4 years back. Everything around Valley has grown so much. We are making expansive villas. You saw the layouts. Possibly in this ticket size, no developer is making such expansive layouts, giving a 550 square foot living and dining, all en suites, beautiful plot, beautiful terrace gardens. That's what makes it one of the best layouts in the market today. You have lavish resort-style amenities with over 250,000 square meters. We're talking about big numbers here. We're talking about such huge greenery and a relaxed payment plan with 20% every year, obviously making this one of the best villa opportunity for this year. Now let's see where competition is. Now this is the kind of per square foot rates what the competition is launching across Dubai. I've compared mostly the ones which are closer to the valley. If you look at everything around the valley, everything is trading at 1,400 to 1,600 dirham per square foot. It is very important also because the per square foot calculation also sometimes actually might misguide the customers. A lot of developers who are actually launching in this area, in the Maidan and this area, they load a lot of balcony areas, and typically on that it looks like they're selling at 1,500, 2,000, but there is not much of internal area given to the customers. Unlike what we do, we basically focus on the majority of the areas inside the unit so that it gives the maximum space for the customer. When you register all these numbers of 1,400, 1,500, 2,100, and when we talk about the Valley at 1,200 dirham per square foot, it makes Valley Villas one of the most coveted and one of the most beautiful opportunities in the villa segment this year. The average built-up area is 3,700 square foot. We have plots ranging from 31 to almost 5,000 square foot, depending upon where you're buying, and the prices are starting from 4.37 million till 5 million. So your villa on the park would be around 5 million. Your villa possibly on the single road, on the entry road, would be a 4.37 million. We also have an exclusive opportunity for the bulk investors. We have bulk is anything for 3 units and above. The privilege will be till 21st of July. You can reach out to the sales team to understand what are the terms we are giving for the bulk investors. We have differentiated our offering for the bulk this time. Customers have come to us saying that we would like to invest more, but we want to be differentiated. And yes, this time we have some offer for the bulk customers. Payment plan would be 80-20. Every year you pay 20%. It's a very relaxed payment plan. We've ensured that the customers are not paying everything in the first 2 years, so we've relaxed it. And we are the only developer in Dubai who is actually linking the payments to construction, which gives confidence to the investors. This you have to tell them. A lot of customers, a lot of agents come to me and you tell, no, why can't we have 60-40? Why can't we have 50-50? But you need to understand that linking the construction link payment, this payment would only come to you if this construction is hit. And it's actually healthy. You will not trust me, it is very healthy, not only for us, but also for the customers. When everything is linked to construction, it means the project is up, and customers' money only increases if the handover is done, right? Every year, if you don't show construction progress, the price appreciation doesn't happen. So with Emaar, we believe in linking the payments to the construction, and that's why I think this payment plan, when you're explaining this to your customers, please emphasize on the fact it is a construction-linked payment plan. The anticipated delivery date is June 2028. Now, especially for you guys who are spending money on marketing, it is very important for you to understand where you have to spend your bucks. You just cannot spend in every market. These are the top 20 nationalities who are buying in the valley. What is more important is the right side column, wherever we have highlighted. Now, these are the places where you can do your marketing. If you are spending on international marketing, if I were you, I would be spending in UK, I would be spending in China, I would be spending in, if you look at Kuwait and France, even Morocco for that matter, all these people are actually buying. So this slide will really help you strategize your marketing budgets, I think, which is very important in today's time. Because if you are spending money on any marketing, ideally we want you to get leads and close with us, and hence we will share this with you. This will be really helpful for you guys. Now, the first time we are having also a formidable commission in the Valley Villas. We will be giving all of you guys 4%. I think before we break, I think it's very important to again understand that all of us, for the next 3 months, we have to work hand in hand, strength to strength. I think Dubai real estate is seeing a massive growth. 40% is by no means a small number, it is a huge number. And I think if we continue this year, in my opinion, we will make something spectacular. History is about to be made, guys. I think let us all be a part of it. And we will be starting the process of this very soon. All the best. Thank you.